Well, of course, I'm sure many people will know that the big story in the movie, well, today is that Will Ferrell on the Conan O'Brien show, Conan as it's now known as, has announced that they will be making a second Anchorman film. Now, I'm sure you're aware of, the first Anchorman film is possibly one of the funniest films in history of comedy. It was about like four sexaholic reporters who are pissed off by the fact there's a woman co-responder now, and it's a fantastic film. Now a sequel is being made. Now of course many people complain about, oh, you're talking about it before it's even been made. Why do you do that? Well, I'm not reviewing the film. I am addicted. I am thinking about the film. There's a difference between thinking and reviewing. Reviewing is that you've seen the film. Thinking about it is you're concerned and you are trying to think about what could it be like or not. If you are confused by those two, you really are a dumb retard. Anyway, I was saying, the problem with a sequel is you don't know if it's funny second time round or not. Now, of course, people are aware of the Hangover. Hangover film, the first one, was quite funny. I mean, a lot of people, it was a really enjoyable film. But the second film was shit. It was shit. Now, people might say, well, hang on a minute, it's the same joke, maybe that'd be funny. Well, that's if you are watching the film over again. When a second film comes out, you redo the film. You thick wankers. If you know your films, you know that a second film, there's a different plot and a different scene, everything. You don't fucking understand films, but you don't know about films. Now, with the sequel, there are both other problems. So how do you make it better or more different? Now, of course, people are aware of that. Another great example of sequels is that sometimes it is not really meant for a film like that. Of course, people can be aware of a fantastic, perfect example of a sequel gone on with Hangover 2 is probably a great example of that, which I can't remember at the moment, but some great. Of course, people say, well, hang on a bit, Tommy. Sequels are usually quite successful. That's true. The Godfather 2 was really good. Spider-Man 2 was really good. That's different both. But I've struggled to think of any second film comedy that's quite good. Of course, American Pie 2, which was very funny. But then other great examples of really bad sequels are Naked Gun 2, or Naked Gun 33 and a half, whatever shite. Airplane 2, and of course, the great example of really horribleness is probably Scary Movie. The first film was really good, but the second film, not so funny. But people might say, well, not all comedy sequels are shit. That is true. Monty Python, for example, is a perfect example of what a comedy sequel should be. Completely different. The first film, we all know, was Holy Grail, which was a film about knights and the fact that some of them were great, some of them were cowards, and it was all funny and humorous. But the second film, Lifeblood, was a completely different film. It was about the fact of how stupid people who believe in a religion is. Of course, there's controversy behind it all, but enough about that. And another example of really good comedies as well is, because American Pie 2 was really good. Other great examples of good comedy sequels are, it's quite, I'm not actually sure really. But then it boils the big question. Is Anchorman good enough for a sequel? Now, it's a very funny film. And also, another comedy sequel that's coming out, which no one's talking about, is Zoolander, which will make a sequel. But those two films in general are they good enough to make? Are they good enough for a sequel, or are they better left as one film, one lovable film? Now, Anchorman 2, I'm all for it. Zoolander, not so much. Now, here's a question for you to think about. Can you tell me any other comedy sequel that was very funny, and also even funnier than the first film? Now, obviously, I've already said Monty Python and that lot, but are there any other comedy sequels that were funnier than the first film? Now, as usual, you can comment on it on my YouTube account, or if you are a paedophile or something, on Facebook. And I'm just kidding. Or if you really are interested, you can post on Twitter. I doubt nobody goes on Twitter at all. With that. But comment on that as well. Just a quick thing before I end. There are a few things I like to say quickly. I mean, off the record. Of course, on YouTube we've had some sad news that Ed Gould, or Ed's World as you may call it, died on Monday after losing his battle to cancer after 6 years. It's quite tragic in a way. I don't want to be those losers that, you know, go, oh, he was amazing, he was inspiring. But in all seriousness, I think what he's done is if one of you who know Tom Scar, or anyone is watching this, then what he did was he's in a way gave YouTube more, you know, humorous for people that, you know, don't like watching the shite that you see on the TV. I mean, also he's given us a better. Some of the animation is phenomenal. I mean, it is quite phenomenal about a guy like that, and there are some great videos that he's done in lifetime on YouTube. I mean, of course, there's some that are quite. I think when I knew about it last year when somebody at college showed me some of his videos, and they are quite funny. But on YouTube, it's a great loss on YouTube. I mean, I think worldwide, people might say, well, what has that got to do with films? Well, it's just, he did this not for the money, not to, you know, go on about like, oh, I'm bigger than you and I'm bigger than you, or oh, I want to get bigger views than you. He did it because he loved it. And I may not know the guy, you know, I may sound like an idiot saying this, or a cock, but as a blogger, a YouTube maker, and of course a man who likes to spend his times on YouTube occasionally. When I say occasionally, I say every day. I think he's going to be greatly missed. But I think, you know, we should give him some space and that lot. Give Tom Scar and that lot some space. He might not do any videos for a long time, but how can you make videos now while your best mate's died? It's like still doing stuff when you know someone's best mate has died. But yeah, rest in peace to a really funny guy.